Thanks for joining us and welcome to another episode of Soccer Heads New England. You can check us out at soccerheadsnewengland.com or our Facebook page, or you can email us at soccerheadsnewengland@gmail.com. Please share us, because if you share us, maybe we'll have 2 listeners. I'm Dave Radigan, here with Jim Roberti and Paul Nardizzi. We are all Boston comedians, and those two are real soccer heads. I'm just a guy who's made it to the top by being a sycophant. You guys are both so smart.
It's a good word, sycophant.
Thank you. With us also is our engineer, Dale Lawrence, a former police officer who has secret dreams about Nancy Grace.
I think you should have said Greta Van Susteren.
Well, Nancy
I think
Grace
that's a funnier one. That's a funnier name.
I think you just added both to his fantasy. Now he's doing
now
a
he's thinking
threesome.
about Greta Van Susteren.
both.
Doing a threesome.
We're waiting on our guest, Diego Fagundez, who became the first homegrown player to sign with the New England Revolution in 2010. When he was just 15 years old, he's now an excellent player and a member of Austin FC. And who knows where he'll wind up in the history of MLS, but a really strong player. We also have a new segment that we're gonna debut today. It's going to be very exciting, and a report about the greatest in-game interview in the history of sports. Later, Paul will have an unbelievable story from the wide world of soccer news. But first, we've got some business stuff. Thanks to all of you who came out last Saturday to see the 3 of us at the Doubletree Hilton Hotel in Milford, Massachusetts. We got to meet Ella, our listener.
Excellent to see Ella there, yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Ella gets a kick out of you, too. I don't know why, but she does.
We also saw our old friend Andrea Burke from the Aku Aku in Worcester, and a bunch of other nice people, and we had a lot of fun. If you're in Cape Cod this Saturday, June 25th, Jim Roberti and I are at the Tewitt Center for the Arts, easy for me to say, on the outdoor stage. Will also be a great comedy show. Showtime is 7:30, so if you feel like coming by for that, we'd love to see you. On the subject of comedy shows, we do comedy fundraisers, and we can do one to help your league or team make money. We also have a variation of that show called the Soccer Heads Comedy Night that is very focused on comedy about soccer. A little bit of a different experience, but a lot of fun for soccer leagues or clubs. Either way, you can contact me at dave@scampscomedy.com. That's scampscomedy.com. Or Jim at soccerheadsnewengland@gmail.com. We also have 2 sponsors I want to plug. First, Monster Soccer, run by Bryce Nardizzi, who had an excellent soccer career. It was founded by, right here to my right, Paul Nardizzi, who trained his sons. And Bryce has taken the best, most innovative techniques and adopted those, and not the techniques favored by his dad. For example, if one of his boys committed a handball, Paul would cut off a finger. They don't do that anymore. So if you want to train for success and keep all your fingers, call Bryce Nardizzi at Monster Soccer at 508-308-4109. That's 508-308-4109. And finally, Soccer Heads New England is sponsored by financial advisor Rick Spencer, 978-857-7573. Rick runs free financial seminars for parents. If you're interested in sending your kid to college, he can help. Rick is also my financial advisor. And because of Rick, when I come to the Cape on Saturday, Jim, I'm planning a special shopping trip. I'm going to go to Yankee Candelabra. Financial advisor Rick Spencer. Call him at 978-857-7573.
You know, I've had Rick do so much work for me, he's declared me as a dependent. I'm just telling you right now. Yankee Candelabra.
That one
was terrible.
Like that. Before we get to Diego, I'm happy to introduce a new segment. It's called Hot Takes. That's when I take a story or a trend from the world of soccer and we talk about it.
Well, this is why I didn't understand, because I thought it was hot cakes and we were going to have pancakes after the show.
Yeah.
I was all excited.
I was wondering why you hadn't left yet.
Exactly. Dale, get the syrup out of the fridge.
Oh, we already got some for you. We got a whole gallon there, Jim. Sugar-free, baby.
All right. So I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, don't we do this anyway? But there's a difference. All right. The difference here is when we get to the segment, which is we're getting to right now. This is Hot Take. Now, I need
You have no theme music on that, Dale?
Well, this
I might be able to find some.
I think Jim should do the sound effect. Jim, I need you to go.
Do you have Suicide is Painless from MASH? Can you play that?
I think it should be the sound of pancakes on the griddle.
Yes! The sound of pancakes on the griddle.
You thought it was hot
I did. I thought it was hotcakes. This is truly disappointing. But go ahead.
All right. Here's the voice. Here's the sound effect I want you to make, Jim. I want you to go cha-cha. Cha-cha. Excellent. All right, you ready? Here we go, folks. Here is hot take number 1.
Cha-cha.
The United States played a CONCACAF match, my favorite league, CONCACAF match versus El Salvador last week, and it was the greatest game ever. There were fight and ejections and a late goal for the U.S. to tie. But all anyone wanted to talk about was the field, because the game was played after 2 days of rain in El Salvador, and the field was muddy. Comments on social media range from dangerous to disastrous, and one writer used the word deplorable. That was soccer writer Hillary Clinton. Jim, what's your hot take on the muddy field of El Salvador?
I haven't seen soccer shorts that dirty since I ate that Mexican food from the food truck down by Columbia Ave. That's my hot take.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
I have no issue with this. I mean, this is 3 of the most famous football games were the Patriots against the Raiders in the snow, the Ice Bowl, and the Patriots against Tennessee because it was the coldest playoff game after the Ice Bowl, the coldest AFC playoff game. And who won each one? The cold weather team.
That's right.
So in soccer, the only thing you can do to try to win is to muddy up the field or freeze the field or what have you, play in a cold climate. Mm-hmm. You can't do all the things they use to cheat in your game.
Right.
You can't stick needles in your ass. Not going to work.
Oh, yeah. I'm
You
sure
can't-
Nobody.
Doesn't help.
Of course it does.
We could break this down, but it doesn't help.
All right.
That's why you never see soccer players getting busted for PEDs, do you, Jim?
Nope, never.
Okay. Because they don't check.
You can't video the sideline, not going to help. You can't tinker with the ball because they don't use the different balls like in football where each team has their own. So the only thing you got is the field. So piss on it, do whatever you got to do.
I let all the listener know. Dave and I watched the game. I called Dave immediately. I said, "You have to. This is one of the best soccer games I've seen."
It was a
and
mess.
there was literally one player for the U.S. team that ran and grabbed an El Salvadorian player by the shorts and the back of his shirt and threw him 30 feet. When I tell you 30 feet, right? Did you see it?
Yeah.
He literally rolled covered in mud, and the referee just pointed, direct kick, keep the ball going. Yeah. There were 2 red cards. There were fights. If you were not a soccer fan, if you don't like the pristine play and the beautiful passes, it was a travesty. But I knew Dave would like it.
Yeah.
Because it's right up his alley.
As a slow player who never has to worry about pulling any muscles in his legs because he doesn't run.
That's not why I thought that, Dave. I thought that because of all the times you used to wrestle with those strippers in the mud, that this would bring back memories of your bachelor days. So
no. And the only throwback for me was the Uda Pipig Barrison Marathon. All right, Jim, you got to compose yourself because here it comes. Hot take number 2. Cha-cha. That's good. MLS coach Ronnie Diala left New York's team for Belgium in mid-season. Where else can this happen? Paul?
The MLS starts in March and runs through October, so they don't have to deal with the NFL. But in Europe, they start in the summer, so it's just an unfortunate situation. But New York is our rival, so I'm psyched they lost their coach. He's a really good coach. I'm not going to insult a guy who leaves in the middle. I've walked off stage plenty of times when I'm not done. I mean, he's in first place. I was eating it, but still, I mean,
usually with thunderous applause. Any thought on that one, Jim?
I'm still laughing at the thunderous applause from him leaving his set. But I think, hey, listen, you know what? I'm all for if the money's good, walk away and take it. You know, life's too short. I'm for this golf with all these guys, the Saudi Arabians are throwing out golfers' money. Just take the money and run. And I think that he had his opportunity. I mean, he said it was an opportunity of a lifetime from what I read.
Yeah.
And he had just won the MLS championship. What more could he do? This is a huge thing. Just run and go. I don't have any issue with it at all.
All right, let's move it. Let's move this along to... You ready? Hot take number 3. Cha-cha! Last week, FIFA named 11 United States host cities for the 2026 World Cup. Here in New England, Foxborough will be one of those cities. 60 of the 80 games in the tournament will be played in those locations, with 10 more each in Canada and Mexico. Well, Jim's the Fox News watcher, so he's wondering, why include Canada and Mexico? But what's your hot take on the World Cup coming back to the U.S. for the first time since 1994?
You're not going to like this, Dave, because this is a boring answer. But I'm still focused on the next World Cup. We still have to play in Qatar. So they're throwing this news at me. I'm not even really focused on it. I know they're playing at Gillette. Of course, I'm going to be there. But Can we see how we do here?
Paul Nardizzi sounding like all of my students. I ask a question and he says, I don't care. Jim, how about you?
Well, we're going to end up with Trinidad and Tobago versus Southeastern Rhode Island here in Gillette. Again, we're going to get some horrible teams that have never won anything in their entire lives. In fact, some of them will blend into the crowd on the way out of the game, Dave, just to stay here. But no, I think it's a huge announcement. I remember way back when we were at Foxborough Stadium when they hosted Greece played here. It was fantastic. It's great for soccer.
We got
here.
good teams. I think we got Nigeria. We got Italy.
Yeah,
because I remember going to see Baggio play.
Oh, that's right. Baggio played. So it's fantastic for soccer in the area. It really is. It's a good thing.
Well, I agree.
I just hope we get some good teams.
But let me say this. What if they win? Okay, I know it's a long show. What if they win in Qatar? It's kind of like when the Red Sox won, and a lot of people are like, oh, they did that, so I don't really need to watch anymore. I don't know that I care anymore if they win it.
Oh, I don't know. I think you want to see it defend it.
I don't care. It's over. They've won it.
Honestly,
do I think they're going to win it? Absolutely not. But what if they did?
I mean, if this was your attitude when you walked off stage, I would have stood up and applauded as well, because I think it's poor right now.
Yeah.
I think you came in very angry today. I understand. I saw the way Dave parked outside too. It's very upsetting.
Listen. That old lady's foot was just there. I had to park my car. Her foot was there. I'm pretty sure she stuck her foot down before right in front of me.
You're not supposed to donate the organs while you're still driving, Dave. Okay, get the brain back.
All right, now we're going to move it along. Diego Fagundez is going to be joining us. Paul, take it away.
I am really excited to have this guest on. One of the top players in the MLS. He's a third all-time leading scorer of the team we root for, the Revs. Now he's in Austin. We want to welcome Diego Fagundez.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hey, Diego.
Thrilled to have you. Seriously.
Hey, the only thing I really want to know, did you actually stop balls when you were in goal?
Oh,
no, I didn't. You know what I did, Diego, is I stood on the sideline and I just mentally criticized the two guys playing ahead of me.
Because it's always the keeper's fault. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
Yeah. You and Nardizzi, you're killing me, Diego. I'll tell you, I played for UMass Boston. So, of course, you're familiar with UMass Boston, right? So
yeah, of course.
I was the captain of the team back then, and I used to pray nobody kicked the ball anywhere near me. And we had a tough team, Diego. We led the league in felonies and arrests, but we were tough. But nothing like you Leominster kids. And I'm thrilled to have you here. It's great to hear of a success story locally. Love it. So I'll let Paul start ripping you with questions, but we're thrilled.
Well, I appreciate it.
Thrilled to have you here.
So, Diego, as a fan of the Revs, we were really looking forward to you playing Austin, the Revs playing Austin FC. It didn't happen last year because of the scheduling, and now this year I assume it's not happening because of monkey flu. Is this game ever going to take place? And if you had the choice, where do you want it to be, home or away?
To be honest, I've been looking at the schedule for the past 2 years now. I've been wanting to play the Revs now since I left. And to be honest, I would love to go away and play at Gillette Stadium, but at the same time, our atmosphere here in Austin is probably a lot better. So I would love to play here and show them what it's like here in Austin.
Okay, that was a little shot at the New England fans, huh?
Wow.
Yeah, it's not no shot. It's just it's nice to be home. You get to sleep in your own bed, and when you want to play those games, those are the games that count. You always want to do your best against a rivalry team that let you go.
You are out attending us this year. We're in like 14th, and you're in the top 10 in attendance. So I hear you.
Yeah, the 27 of us are pretty pissed at that comment, Diego. That go to the games.
Hey, I used to go to those games before that, so hey, what can I say? Maybe you guys just have to come out here and experience a different stadium.
Yeah, what's it like out there?
To be honest, it's amazing. People are good, a lot of good food around, and then this city is growing into soccer so much. No matter where you go, you'll see an Austin jersey, scarf, hat, logo. Someone's wearing something Austin FC, and I think that's huge for the city. Like I think Boston, there's so many other sports, and I think people are just starting to recognize the Revs, where here there's only one sport and everybody goes for that.
So, Diego, when Bruce Arena took over, I'm going to quote him. This is not my words. He said it was a total shit show here in New England. His words. So you were there. What was so bad about it at that time when he came in?
I don't know what side he's seeing it, but I think from before he came in, I think there was an older coach in there that not a lot of people were a big fan of. And he talked bad about players on social media and stuff, and that's fine. He can say whatever he wants, and he said all the same things. So I don't know, to be honest. My 10 years there were really good. Besides not winning an MLS Cup or or making it to playoffs that many times, but it's part of sports. Not every team gets to win trophies, So, but he wanted it his way, and I think he came in here, Bruce, and he did it the way he wanted to do it.
Is it safe to say that you don't have the name Brad Friedel in your contacts? Is that safe to say?
Yeah, that's definitely safe to say. There's a lot of things I could say, but I don't need that.
You can say whatever you want on here.
Hey, we're here for you. We're here to help you, Diego. That's why we call him.
No, I think it's funny. He once he gets fired, he likes to shoot his shots at everybody, and us as players there's no point. We're still playing in our careers, and who knows what he's doing.
All right, that's a good way to look at it. What is he doing, Paul? Do you know? We don't know.
If you go on Wiki, he is a former coach of the Revs.
Wow.
I get. Let me get to something important. None of this wins, losses stuff, Diego. I have 2 bobbleheads. I have your bobblehead,
and then you got Barack Obama's.
No. I've got Matt Reese.
Oh, okay.
All right. Now, I like Matt Reese as a goaltender, but let me ask you a question. Don't you agree that shaved, bald-headed white guys are just kind of made for bobbleheads? I mean, when you see a guy who's a shaved-headed white guy, don't you think to yourself, that guy should be in Blue Man Group and he should just paint himself blue, or he should be a bobblehead?
It's crazy to think, because I think every bald guy that you see that's on a bobblehead, I think theirs actually looks good.
Yeah.
Then you have some of us that have a couple bobbleheads, and one of them looks like Barack Obama, and the other one actually looks like me. So
yours does look a little like Barack Obama. I hadn't thought of that until you said it.
Yeah, the first one they made was. If you put Barack Obama's picture, it looked exactly alike. I don't know what kind. I guess it was summer, or I came for vacation, and I got some tan or something. I don't know, but the second one actually, maybe, I don't know if it was the skunk stripe that on my head that kind of helped a little bit.
That probably does. But Reese, let's face facts. I mean, you're right. Every guy with that look, they all kind of look. You know what they'd look? You know what else would look good if you were somebody with a white guy with a shaved head? Spaceships. You put like 4 or 5 of them in a spaceship together with the same outfit.
Yeah, because they wear that the thing under their helmet, right?
Right.
That's honestly 20 seconds of Diego's life. He's never going to get back to that question. He's going to.
Dave is not well.
Let's be honest. If I'm going to look good on a bobblehead, because I'm bald, maybe I should go bald then.
That's a good idea.
Oh, great.
That's an excellent idea. You should consider it.
Diego, real quick, what was your favorite? Now, I know you left here not so happy and not so thrilled, but you must have a memory here other than your first game, or what was your biggest memory that you remember from playing for New England, playing here?
I want to say probably 2014. We had to win the last 5 games to qualify to make playoffs, and the team definitely did that. We went to Columbus, we played there, and we won. And I remember coming back in a charter, celebrating in the charter, then going somewhere else to play, and just winning those 5 games were just huge, and our momentum kept going. So I think that's one of the best memories. But of course, most of the goals that I scored were definitely in my top, that I'll never forget them.
That's great. What's your favorite one?
Either my first or my 50th.
One of the two.
Yeah.
Why the first? Why the 50th?
Yeah, one of the first or one of the last. You kind of have to put it, or you could put it against the one that they actually made the Mountain Dew bobblehead one that was against Chicago, where I volleyed it. Oh, yeah. That's probably in the top 3.
That was a beauty. Not many players can say, Paul, I'm going to direct this right to Paul, that they remembered their first and their 50th.
That's not me.
I gotta admit, people ask me like, hey, do you remember any of your goals? And I could probably tell you my first 10, 15 easily, maybe forgetting maybe 1 or 2 in the way. That's something I think every player should know, unless you have something like Cristiano where they have more than 500 goals, I mean, that point,
I feel the same way. I remember the first goal I gave up and the 100th goal I gave up in college. I remember.
Well, they were all in a week. So, so Diego, you're second in the league in assists right now. Okay, so if your success continued with Austin for several years, and you were inducted into the MLS Hall of Fame, which I haven't built yet. I'm still trying to figure out where to put the urinals. But would you go in wearing an Austin hat or the Soccer Heads New England hat that I'm going to send you after this interview?
I think I might go bald.
Don't ever listen to Dave Radigan. I've told you that.
Hey, I'll just do this. Whatever in my pocket, if my pocket's a little heavier, that's what I'll wear.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
That's a great question, though. What hat are you going to wear? I mean, that's tough. I mean,
Well, there is no Hall of Fame, though. That's unfortunate, too. We need a Hall of Fame in this country.
There's no Hall of Fame. He didn't give him the option of the Revs. It was just
no Revs.
I thought you were going to say either the Revs hat or an Austin hat.
I threw in a curveball. I am going to ask Brad to introduce you. So.
Oh, that's good. You can ask him to introduce you.
That would be a good one, though.
Who was your favorite?
I'd probably walk out.
Hey, that'd probably be the greatest Hall of Fame induction ever.
Yeah. I would remember.
Say goodbye, say hi, and then say goodbye at the same time.
Yeah, you say thanks. Thanks. Then you can look at him and say thanks for nothing. Grab your reward. Anyway.
Who was your favorite player you played with in New England? And it doesn't have to be based on its athleticism. It could be your relationship.
No, I think as a relationship, I think Matt Reeves was definitely one of the people that took me under his wing. Him and Shawry Joseph both took me under their wing and taught me a lot of things. You want to learn things from them. And I think Matt Reeves was one of those people that was trying to be a teacher. And I always said he was basically my soccer father because how old he was and how young I was. So it was always nice. And until this day, I appreciate everything that he's showed me and how much he actually cared about me and put me under his arms and basically taught me a lot of good things.
Shawry Joseph had a baby. I don't know if you know that.
I did.
And we're guessing that probably not the best baby diaper yet.
Like changing diapers?
Yeah. If you were let's say Shawry Joseph's baby and he was changing your diaper, would you call DSS?
By the way, we had this conversation with Shawry.
Yeah.
Diego.
He said he was watching. He said at that point he was mostly observing. But do you see him diapering a baby?
I don't know. I don't know if he would be good at it. To be honest, I'm gonna be honest right now. I've seen a lot of people change babies, and sometimes I question myself. I'm like, am I the one that's really good, or am I the one that's like, or other people just don't know how to do it?
Yeah,
I without giving names, I have teammates that don't even change their baby's diaper. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was me. I'm cheap. I used to go through the trash and say to my wife, we can get a few more hours out of this thing. I'm guilty.
When my baby was first born, when my daughter was first born, every time I go to diaper her, I'd be like, is this going to be the time I'm going to fumble her and drop her?
Oh, well, you know what's so funny? Honestly, Diego, Paul and I switch off on changing Dave once a week.
I'm a little older.
Dave's a little older.
Here's a question for you, Diego.
Go for it.
This is the other curveball. So our mutual friend, I won't mention his name, but he would, during some college matches, I'll say this, there's people listening that have little kids. So he would take two fingers and they would basically disappear somewhere in his opponent just to throw him off before he made his move to get open. Tells me
is that mutual friend Blonde?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he likes that. What can I say?
Yeah, he loves that. He showed me a video of it. It was shocking to me. Anyways, two questions. What's wrong with him?
You should ask him who taught him.
Okay, that's my next question. Have you ever seen anyone at the MLS level try to pull anything similar to that or that exact move?
I don't know about that exact move, but I've seen people pull some weird stuff.
Well, if I knew it was that exciting, I wouldn't have played goal.
I gotta say, you know who pulls those things? Usually goalkeepers. So.
Whoa! Wait a minute, Diego.
I'm being 100% honest right now.
Really?
Yeah, think about it.
We're usually morally way above
just
grade.
Think about this. It's a corner kick.
Yeah.
There's a player right in front of you.
Yeah. Oh, that's
true. You grab those gloves. Think about it, what you can do with them.
I don't know. Those gloves are awfully big, though, to try to stick them in someone's hiney. I mean, I used to use my knees. You're right. You know what? Now that I think about it, he's right.
You know what my dad...
We used to do a lot of stuff to people. Yeah.
You know what my dad taught one of our goalkeepers when I was playing U13, I think it was? That if a player stood in front of you, just put his pants down. You know what that keeper did on the first corner kick? Boom, put his pants down. You think as a player you're going to stand in front of that goalkeeper ever again? No chance.
I should have spoken with your father back in the day. Yeah, that's a great idea.
That player's never going to come right in front of you. He's going to be like, what are you doing?
Now Dave's going to want to go stand in front of goalies the rest of the week at U13 as well.
Did you go, Diego? Did you go from what level did you go to before you signed with the Revs? Because I know you signed up at 15, right? You started.
I signed at 15, and I was playing U15 with Academy and U17.
Do you realize how incredible that is, Diego? Do you ever sit back seriously? You've seen so much youth soccer in your day. Your dad has seen so much youth soccer. What an anomaly it was for you to sign a professional contract at U15.
I do. Sometimes I sit back and I think about how crazy it is, because here I am 12 years later playing professional. I'm 27 years old, and then I talk to my teammates who also are 12 years in the league, and they're 33. So I have years on them playing, and then there's players that are just starting their career who are 24, and I'm like, wow, I've been playing for a long time. I don't feel 27. I feel more like 30, maybe 31, but that means that's a good thing. That means I have a lot of more years, and hopefully my prime will hit at 29, but who knows, right?
Can you imagine he's got this many goals at 27 years old professionally? You're such an anomaly, Diego. It's crazy.
When you were first with the team and you're underage and you're younger than everybody else with the big club, and you're traveling around the country to all these major cities, your life must have been so different than other players, was it?
Very different. You know, I had to be a saint and stay in the hotel room, do my homework, never go out. You know, I had to make sure I did that. And then I had a really good roommate that you guys had on the show already, you know. Won't give any names, and sometimes he would be like, "Hey, let's go," and you know, sometimes you get into places. But
I'm 54, Diego, and he's a bad influence on me. Okay.
so no. There was places where, like, yeah, I would go out with the team. It was a team; we would all go out and stuff. But most of the times, I just stay back at the hotel and try to meet new people in that city and get to know them, and just go to their house or have them come over. Or that's how I got to meet a lot of friends around the country.
Wait a minute, you would just go to a new city and you'd meet somebody and then you'd go over their house?
Yeah, I would get invited everywhere, you know.
I'm sure you got invited everywhere, but did you get robbed?
I had to make sure I knew who they were and stuff. Like I'm saying, like there was preseason games where like we would be somewhere for months at a time, and you know, I got to meet people, and to this day, I'm actually friends with a bunch of them.
You have friends at home from Leominster, do you still hang around with anybody from Leominster that you grew up with?
Yeah, that blonde guy that, you know, put his fingers. Okay. His name is Noel Vieira. Yeah, that one.
All right. I mean, how different is your life now?
No, it's different because, like, I came from nothing. My family came from nothing. We didn't really have much. So now I get to enjoy a little bit more and get to buy whatever I want. But at the same time, I've never changed. I'm not going out there and buying Louis Vuitton stuff or nice clothes and stuff. I'm still the same person. I'd rather enjoy my family, making sure that they have a home to live at. My kids. There's a lot of people that I take care of before I even treat myself for things. Now that I got myself a boat, I can relax on it and just have fun on it and not worry about a lot of things and just live life a little more. But yeah, no, the most important thing to me was when I got paid was to help out my family as much as I can.
So, Diego, you and Landon are the two youngest in the league history to score 50 and assist 50. Okay? He was actually a little younger than you, but then he went bald, so I actually have you in the lead. A lot of bald jokes tonight. What is more gratifying to you, scoring or assisting?
Yeah, to me, it's the same thing, because scoring, of course, gives you a little more of a happiness and stuff, but at the same time, I always said to people, if I had the chance to be the top goal scorer in a World Cup and lose, or be the top assister and win the World Cup, then of course I'm going to do that. Mm-hmm. That's the best way to say it. So they both give me happiness, but at the same time, as long as the team is winning, who cares? I just want to be a part of the contribution of the team winning.
I like that answer. No one's ever given me that answer.
Oh, it was good. Since yesterday was Father's Day, let's talk about an important person in your life from what I've read and everything. Your dad. What did you do for Father's Day? Number one, and I saw he's got a great soccer background as well. How's your relationship with your dad?
I'll start with that. My relationship with my dad is amazing. He's my agent. He's the person I go to talk about everything. He's the one that actually fights for my contracts and where I want to go and play at. And yesterday's Father's Day was nice. You know, I woke up, my kids showed up, gave me a couple presents. Then we went to meet up with my parents at the lake, and we just hung out at the lake on a little beach, relaxing. We did get back on Sunday at 4:30 in the morning from Canada, from Montreal. So it was a quick turnaround to have my wild kids running around the house.
How many do you have?
I have two.
A boy and a girl, boys?
A boy and a girl, one of each.
All right, how old's the boy?
4 and 2. My boy's 2 years old.
You already got him in net firing balls at him?
No, not yet. I'm going to make sure he stays away from the net.
Oh, look at that. An anti-goalkeeper guy. You hear that?
No, I'm not an anti. You know why? You know why I'm not an anti? Because when I was little, that's what I wanted to play. I wanted to be a goalie.
Really? Smart man.
But my dad didn't let me.
Oh, okay.
Well, he didn't want me to pursue that, but when I played in goal, like when Leominster, I would dribble and score, so there was no point of me staying in goal.
Well, I think we can all agree he made the right decision. That's for sure.
Yeah, he definitely did. I wouldn't take that back.
Hey, have you ever thought about playing in Europe? Have you ever had an opportunity?
We've had many opportunities to go, but again, the REVS never let me take that leap, and so hopefully, I don't know, hopefully someday, and if that doesn't happen, maybe go to a different country and play there. We've had offers from different places. We've had talks with different teams. Kind of crazy because I don't remember exactly what year, but my dad was talking to FC Barcelona from Spain for a while to try to get to go there. And everything was going well, but then we stopped everything.
That would have been incredible.
Put this way, even Dave would have watched European soccer if that had happened.
I gotta say, the idea of going to another league would have been, it's sort of like you're experiencing a whole new culture. I knew players when I was younger who played hockey in France and in other countries. And if they embraced the culture, it was a really good experience. If they didn't embrace the culture, it was less so.
I think that happens here in MLS, to be honest. I think players who come from South America, they come here and they think soccer is going to be easy here, and then they struggle. And I think you see it with Higuain in Miami. I think he came here thinking it was going to be easy to score goals, and he had a hard time doing it. People underestimate this league, to be honest. They think it's a league to come and retire at, but soccer is getting big here. Young kids are coming from all over, and we're making the right steps. Good players are coming, so hopefully it keeps going in that direction, and who knows where it'll be in 5 to 10 years.
Diego, so we had done a show weeks ago about how there's a lot of comedians in Boston who played goal, including these two guys that I'm looking at right now. And so we always ask this question. We asked the president of the REVS who was funny, and out of the goalies, he said Matt Reeves was actually a funny guy. What is Brad Stuver's personality? Is he kind of a crazy guy, or?
To be honest, he's as mellow as it gets. He's just chill, doesn't really say much. We do call him the cop because he likes to fine everybody in the locker room. He's in charge of that.
What have you been fined for?
Oh, I don't get fined. I'm always I'm never late. No, but if you've seen our fine list, it's like you literally can't smile. That's you smile, you get fined. It's crazy. You leave your you shower with no sandals, it's a fine. You leave your sandals out, it's a fine. You take a photo in the locker room, it's a fine. There's so many fines that.
Well, I love rules, man. That's awesome.
And the best thing is we have a wheel of fortune. So you get fined, instead of paying a fine, you have to spin the wheel. And there's some that are $100, $200. There's pay 5 haircuts for 5 players.
We're going to start doing that on the show.
Oh, we need that on the show. Yeah.
There's a bunch of things. There was one that you had to wash the coach's car.
Oh, come on.
Oh, that's awesome.
And if you were a coach and got fined, you had to wash the player's car.
Oh, that's awesome. Did anyone have to, was there anyone who actually landed on that and had to wash somebody's
I think
car?
one person did, and they paid to have someone get the detail.
Of course they did.
They are professional athletes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think I would clean someone's car? Nah, I'd call someone to detail it for him.
So now that you're in Austin, I've been to Austin a couple times, and I love the city. It's clean. It's up and coming, is the way I looked at it, and the music is absolutely phenomenal. I hope you like country music, Diego, because
I do.
Okay, because isn't it fantastic? The music there, I tell people all the time.
The food and the music is good. I think no matter what restaurant you go to, you find live music anywhere.
Yep.
You don't really like country music. You're just saying
I do. I actually like Sam Hunt and stuff.
It's actually the home of Whole Foods.
Oh,
Don't
my favorite place, Whole Wallet. See,
whole wallet.
Yes,
your whole wallet's gone.
Yeah, when you walk in, it's gone. And if you don't have a Subaru, you're not allowed to park anywhere near the store.
Yeah. You go to Whole Foods?
No, I don't. We go to HEB. It's kind of, I don't need, I wish they had Market Basket.
Yeah, everybody.
Market basket is cheap, and
you are so Leominster. You are so Leominster deep within you.
course.
It's coming out. I can hear it.
Here I'm gonna be honest. You go to the grocery store, it's like $200 for a week.
It's worth it, Diego. There's two places I don't step into: porta potties and market baskets.
See, Diego remembers.
Are you a Whole Foods guy?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but you should see what he eats. It's embarrassing.
You definitely eat healthy then, for sure.
It's embarrassing. He eats nuts.
Are you sure you're not vegan?
No, but I turned our mutual friend onto it a little bit. He eats in my house. He loves eating in my house. I mean, you know how he is. He comes to the house. He acts like he lives there.
He likes to eat anything he sees.
True. He is a bit of a goat.
See, Diego remembers Demoulas. See, he's from Leominster, so he must know the name Demoulas, right? That's where it started, Diego. If you recall.
Demoulas?
Demoulas grocery store, grocery chain. There was a couple in Fitchburg where I grew up. Well, I didn't grow up. My family grew up. I grew up on the Cape Cod, but that became Market Basket.
Yeah, the owner's name is Demoulas.
The owner's name is Demoulas.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
it's good grocery talk.
I'm not that old,
Do you go back to?
I was going to say, something? It was. Well, I'm sitting here talking to him. I'm like, all Diego needs to know more about this is a time machine.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Getting the time machine to where he's going to be 50, 55.
Do you get back home at all to Leominster?
I haven't gone yet back. It's hard with our schedule, and then when our schedule is over, there's snow. Why the hell would I want to go back to Leominster in the cold when I can stay here in Austin, be in a shirt and shorts all year long, be on my boat until November?
And to be honest with you, if you were here in shorts and beautiful weather, you still wouldn't want to go back to Leominster.
Let's be honest. Ready? I'm going to say this. You're from the Cape, right? I am now. If you want to invite me to come over to go fishing at the Cape, I'll jump on a plane easily and, we can go fishing.
Diego, it's not as fancy as yours, but I've been killing the striped bass 35 to 40
that's my favorite. You know that?
Oh, if you ever come up, I'm dead serious. I'll be happy to put you on the fish and catch a lot of fish. However,
no, please. I'm taking that. So whenever I have a couple of days, I'm going straight to Massachusetts.
We know where all the fish are on the both sides of the Cape. We have some lobster pots, but here's the only thing. It's only a 17-foot Boston whaler. It's none of this fancy stuff you drive around in. So.
Nah, it's okay. I don't need this fancy stuff. This fancy stuff is just because I'm here, It was the only thing I found. You know
what's great about fishing on a small boat like that and catching a big striped bass? They look a lot bigger on a smaller boat. But we
the other good thing is free chumming, because you usually throwing up.
No. But hey, that's an open invitation that I'd like. We'll put you on the fish. You'll catch your limit.
All right, I'll take that invitation. So when I have a couple of days off, I know where to go.
You got it. We'll put you on some bluefish too, which are
okay.
Really fun to catch. You don't want to eat them though. We'll give them to Paul.
Dig, I want to ask you one more question before we let you go.
Go for
it. We appreciate you coming on. I work with these two. They're goalies. Love goalies, but they're a pain in the ass. You played for Friedel. Your dad brought you up. He's a goalie. Brad's a goalie. Then Arena comes rolling in. It must have been a little bit of a relief to get to Austin and say, now I'm playing for a former U.S. national team forward, because you're an offensive player. Is it vastly different playing under his system?
It's very different than playing into. I think when Friedel came, I didn't know how I was gonna feel about the goalie coming in and trying to teach us how to score goals and stuff. And I think that's one of the things that I didn't really enjoy about him. He was trying to be the doctor, the nutrition, the trainer, the president. I think he was trying to do it all.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why it didn't go well in New England for him, which I think everybody was a lot happier that way. So I'm glad he tried to do it all. And Bruce, I think it's something about Bruce that actually, it was nice that he never came and was trying to teach goalies how to do this or that. Even though he was a goalie and stuff, he never came to Matt and said, "Hey, Matt, why don't you do this?" I think it was always like, "Hey, could you have done this?" That was always nice to see. And as my dad, we always talk about everybody. So we always have nice open conversations, and he knows a lot about soccer. And I think he's watched soccer his whole life, and every single day in his life he's watching soccer. So he studies the game quite well. So sometimes he raises an eyebrow and he's like, what is he doing? Why is he doing that?
I actually met your dad after a it was an MIT Framingham State game. And I think he told you that my son was his favorite player out there. I was really flattered that
Yeah.
They said Jared was his favorite player. Your dad's a great guy.
Is that after you give him a gift card? Or?
We just saw here in New England the Revolution game over the weekend. It's Sunday night, last night.
What a goal by Gustavo Bo, though, huh?
Oh, yeah.
There was an interview. I don't know if you saw this there was an interview at halftime, and they interviewed Arena on the field. And they had played pretty lousy first half. And two questions, two answers. The first one was, Coach, how do you see the first half? And Arena says, we played poorly. Our passing is extremely poor. We're turning it over too much and getting caught on counterattack. And then he goes, what do you want to do to improve it? This is the interviewer. And Arena just looks at the camera and says, pass better and not get caught on counterattacks. And then he took off the headset and went.
I'm gonna say that's Bruce for you, though. That's how he talks to people. That's just normal, easy. Sometimes he looks at people like, are you serious? Why are you asking me this? I just literally answered it.
Oh, kind of like you did about 10 minutes ago with Dave's question. You got it.
Yeah, exactly. So I got a question for you guys. What did you guys think about Matt Turner's last game and not playing?
Well, I was at the game. I just was under the impression that he's hurt, but I guess from what you're asking that he's not. So, yeah, he definitely should have been at least subbed in late.
Subbed in, even if it was the last 5 minutes.
I would have put him at forward. Everyone was chanting for him to put him at forward.
I was hearing the chant from TV, so
yeah.
I was hoping they were going to put him in. So
it's just, when you start taking, come on, the guy's got an opportunity to play in Europe. He was an organization.
What are you afraid he's going to get hurt?
You should take pride.
Hey, he was training the day before the game, so he could have got injured at practice.
I see where you're heading with this question, and I agree. I think it was a slap in the face.
You think it was?
I do. I honestly do. I think they're ticked off.
Let's be honest. It's not the first time he does that. So
I 100% agree with you, and it's got to stop, or we're not going to. We're always going to fall short. The best way you can handle this, Diego, is go win the whole thing. Go win the whole thing.
Yeah, of course.
And spike the ball. It's a big mic drop moment for you. We're rooting for you.
Diego, thank you so much for coming on. We enjoyed talking to you, and good luck the rest of the way.
Hey, I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Diego.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
All right, finally. Paul, what do you have for us?
Just a quick little story from the Siberian Soccer League, Jim. I don't know if you follow Siberian soccer, but talk about cold, right?
Oh, my, yeah.
Poor lad ended up getting frostbitten in one of his testicles. Okay, and then gangrene set in. They had him on the sidelines, and then it started to spread. It looked like it was going to spread to the other testicle. And so the other team's goalie came running over, because who better to save balls than a goalie? Literally bit the infected testicle and just point where it was spreading and saved the other man's nut. It's a hero.
I'm just in utter awe that if it was me and I saw somebody's nut falling off, the last thing I ever would have thought to do is to bite someone's testicle off to save their lives.
Well, that's, I think, the difference between you and a person from Saipan.
And a true hero.
Are you sure the guy wasn't just hungry? That he may not have even known that he had some kind of problem.
I just report the news, Jim. I don't have any opinions.
I thought it was a Pride Month story, to be honest with you. I thought it was going to have a happy ending.
I got to tell you, sometimes I hear these stories and they're just so unusual. I don't know how you find them.
He's recuperating in the hospital, doing well. He will play again.
So he literally has one testicle left.
I mean, Lance Armstrong won how many Tour de France?
That was from the PEDs, but sure. Yeah, he had one testicle too. Definitely. That's a story, Dave.
That is a good story.
It's nice to see a goalie doing something nice for somebody else for once.
Especially after the stories Diego told us about goalies and what his father taught him to do. Yeah. Maybe he did it just to get him out of the box.
All right. Moving on. That's it for this episode of Soccer Heads New England. We'll be back next week. We'd like to thank Monster Soccer for the best in training. Call them at 508-308-4109. Also, financial advisor Rick Spencer. Call him at 978-857-7573, and soon you too will live like Jim Roberti, who rode here from Cape Cod in a chauffeur-driven armored truck. Don't forget, for fundraising the Soccerheads Comedy Night for your soccer team, league, club, or whatever, the Soccerheads will make your fundraiser more than a show. We'll make it an experience. And finally, Jim and I are outdoors at the Cotuit Center for the Arts on Saturday, June 25th. Showtime is 7:30. Come on down. Check us out. You can find more details at scampscomedy.com or artsonthecape.org.
And we did get 3 emails on our Soccer Heads New England website yesterday.
Nice.
We have 2 coupons for Pro Cuts and a discount from Geico car insurance.
Excellent.
Just things are working.
So almost sponsored.
Yeah, we're starting to
Almost paid.
starting to see some movement.
For Paul Nardizzi and Jim Roberti, engineer Dale Lawrence, I'm Dave Radigan, and this has been Soccer Heads New England.